Hi again. I first became interested in the Okinawan weapons, the Kobudo weapons, when I saw a demonstration in Manchester many years ago in the 60s. Uh, as I recall, it was at the Free Trade Hall, and it was Tommy Morris from Scotland. And Tommy had been over to Japan. He trained in Japan. He's one of the first to go over, and he trained in Shoryu, and he picked up the weapons, and he did Sai, demonstrated Sai, and I was absolutely fascinated. And in fact, we didn't watch the rest of the demonstrations. We went backstage and spoke to Tommy and asked him about the weapon. He explained it. I'd never seen it before except in a picture. He explained it and talked about it a bit. Later on, I became a good friend of Tommy through shooting. We were both on the same combat pistol shooting team, and we were in Rhodesia together. Anyway, the Sai and the other weapons, as I say, I became very interested in them. And eventually, you could get a pair of Sai here from one of the early martial arts companies, and I bought a pair and tried to learn, remembering what Tommy had done. And eventually it broke. The welding on it wasn't very good. And then Karate and Oriental Art Shop in London was selling a massive pair of Sai that would never break, but they were a bit unwieldy. Anyway, that was it really. And then I saw some really good demonstrations in 72 in Paris. Master Hayashi gave a really good demonstration with weapons, and then straight after that Higawan Sensei came through Liverpool, and he very kindly put a class on for us, for my group, and he demonstrated the Sai Kata, and he was really the best practitioner I've seen with the Sai weapon. So that was my initial interest, and then obviously when I went to Okinawa, I bought a really decent pair of Sai from the Shurade shop, and I've still got them. Anyway, the book that I'm going to discuss is this one, Nunchaku and Sai, Ancient Okinawan Martial Arts by Ryusho Sakagami. Now, Master Sakagami was the instructor for Fumio Demura, who was and still is a very noted instructor in America, and he really helped introduce these weapons in America with articles in Black Belt magazine, for example. So the book presents the basics of the nunchaku, all the different swing patterns that you can do, catching it with one hand and two hands and so on, recovering it, and also the ensnaring techniques where you use it to choke, to capture around the neck or around a limb, either from a two-handed position or by whipping it around the limb. It's in the book. Very well explained. And then there's a kata. Now there are no traditional nunchaku kata. Each system has their own, and Master Sakagami presents his basically from the Shoryu system. Similarly with the Sai, it shows the striking methods, the flipping and recovering of the Sai, and the double strikes, the thrusts, and so on. It's an impact weapon mainly, but you can thrust with it either with the pointed end or with the pommel, and using the tines to ensnare, for example, a bow or a limb, this kind of thing, and likewise there is a side kata, and this one is a traditional side kata from Okinawa. So it was a good introduction to those two weapons. There are other weapons, the bow and the tonfa, and I think he has other books explaining those. I've seen some quite slim manuals on the specific weapons, or the bow kata, for example. Now, really, video has surpassed or replaced the book for demonstrating this kind of thing, particularly the flow needed. The book does not really get across the idea of how these weapons are done in a flow. You have to get that either first hand from an instructor, or you can get it from the video. And indeed, there is a video series to accompany these books as well. But they still remain a good record of how the weapons were used and how we all became interested in them. So it's a book I like a lot.